Today is December 11th, and this is The View with Catherine Chang. Today's topic is Taipei Mayor Kuo might resign the chairman of Taiwan People's Party. First, Taipei Mayor Ko Wen-je, who is also the founder of the Taiwan People's Party, Taiwan Minzhongdang, was reported yesterday that he might resign as the chairman of the party. Why does he want to do that? One of the reasons is that he doesn't want to be criticized for ignoring the Taipei municipal administrations and just want to run for the presidential election. But I think that if Kuo really resigns, the main reason would be the pro-China image of the Taiwan People's Party. Here are some points. A. Ko Wen-je was originally a well-known surgeon. You can see that this is Ko Wen-je, and he ran for the Taipei mayor election in 2014 and defeated the KMT candidate Xin Lai Lian Shengwen, the son of former Vice President Lian Zhan. However, Ko Wen-je had the support from the DPP at that time. In 2015, Ko Wen-je announced his China policy as the two sides of the strait are one family, 两岸一家亲. It caused a huge backlash from the DPP. Thus, in 2018 Taipei mayoral election, Ko Wen-je lost support from the DPP and only won around 3,000 votes compared to the KMT candidate. Over the past 5 years, I think the slogan, two sides of the strait or one family, has become Ko Wen-je's political weakness. B. Ko Wen-je established the Taiwan People's Party in 2019, and he continued to stand for the two sides of the strait are one family. And that is why the Taiwan People's Party is often criticized as being a pro-China party. And some people even say that it is just like a small version of KMT. Well, I think some of the criticisms might not be fair to Mayor Kuo. Well, there are some nicknames, such as beetle nuts. You know, the reason for beetle nuts is that because it is green outside but red inside. Another is the watermelon. Well, because it is also green on the outside and red on the inside. Well, these nicknames ironically imply that Kuo is a pro-China deep down inside. Well, of course, Mayor Kuo has repeatedly denied it. C. There is a saying that China once supported the former Kaohsiung mayor Han Kuo-yu to run for the 2020 presidential election. We're hoping that he will win and the two sides of the strait can move towards reunification. Unexpectedly, due to the Hong Kong anti-extradition law movement, we know that the Hong Kong policemen beat up the protester, and this kind of suppression aroused Taiwanese anti-China sentiment. So, Han Kuo-yu lost in the presidential election to President Tsai. Well, afterwards, it is said that the China favors Mayor Ko Wen-je to run for the 2024 presidential election. But I don't think that, this will benefit Ko Wen-je at all because Taiwan is not part of China and Taiwanese will not support the politicians who are endorsed by China. Han Kuo-yu was one of the examples, and what about Ko Wen-je? Well, take the poll, for example. 84.9% of people, Taiwanese people, think they are Taiwanese, and only 8.7% Taiwanese people say they are Chinese. Will Taipei Mayor Ko Wen-je resign as party chairman next January? Well, I think the possibility is less than 50% because Mayor Kuo still has a dream of running for president. Here are the top stories. Today, we have one confirmed case. It is an imported case. A female in her 20s returned from the United States. First, I want to talk about President Tsai on the cover of French magazine, and she's one of the 5 leaders that will dominate the world. We know that the French magazine Le Monde published a cover with the title, Who Will Dominate the World? 5 presidents are on the cover, including French President Emmanuel Macron, Chancellor of Germany Angela Merkel, US President-elect Joe Biden, Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen, and China President Xi Jinping. And also in this article, they talk about the, prevention of COVID-19. Well, the article mentioned that transparency. Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen relies and trusts the citizens to fight the COVID-19 together. As to the US Taiwan relations, US Representative Scott Perry urges the legislation to upgrade AIT to US Embassy to Taiwan, and he also encouraged to upgrade TACRO as Taiwanese embassy to the United States. And he said that the Taiwan Economic of Culture Representative Office should upgrade to Taiwanese Embassy to the United States. And Representative Biking Xiao should be referred to as an ambassador. Additionally, U.S. Representative to the UN, Kathy Kraft, voiced support for Taiwan, and she tweeted that the U.S. stands with the people of Taiwan and calls for its full participation in the international community and global economy. On the other hand, China once again spread disinformation to attack U.S.-Taiwan relations, and they post 5 articles in 3 days, and saying that why the U.S. can't arm sales to Taiwan. Well, China's Taiwan Affairs Office of State Council say that, well, the DPP authorities buying weapons from the United States to resist reunifications and rely on the U.S. to seek independence. In the end, they would only get Taiwanese people into disaster. But on the other hand, we know that Taiwan Mainland Affairs Council strongly slammed China. Spokesperson Cho Choi-jen said that we have noticed that the CCP authorities once again operate political propaganda to suppress Taiwan-U.S. interaction. Taiwan has never been part of the People's Republic of China. And he also said that the purchase of the armaments is to safeguard national sovereignty and maintain peace in the Taiwan Strait. Well, as to the U.S. presidential election, according to the Fox News, Senate Homeland Security Committee will hold the first hearing on 2020 election irregularities. The hearing is set to take place on Wednesday, December 16. Chairman Ron Johnson said, well, the fact remains that a larger percentage of the American public does not view the 2020 election result as legitimate because of apparent irregularities that have not been fully examined. On the other hand, Biden, Trump, and Fauci on the list of Times Person of the Year. Well, the reason for Joe Biden is that he broke former President Obama's record for the most votes ever cast. As for Trump, the reason is kind of negative. His administration has been highly criticized for its response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, finally, the editors voted the Times Person of the Year, and there are Biden and Kamala Harris. Well, in the end, I will share with you that there was a 6.7 magnitude earthquake in Taiwan last night. Fortunately, there was no death or injury. Well, at this moment, Taiwanese people are still stick to the epidemic restrictions, even, we're talking about in the earthquake. And people, they are in quarantine, and they ask whether they can go out and take refuge. And the CDC said, yes, you may, but remember to mask up. That will be the view for today. And this is Catherine from Taipei. I hope you have a nice weekend, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye.